Hi, welcome to another episode of Silver Fox Scotland. Now, after the defeat at Hamilton by the Labour Party, SNP leader John Swinney, he's been having some, let's say, internal problems within the party. Lots of people, some very seriously high people in the party, are saying it's time for him to go. He, of course, is trying to shrug it off, but he's shown, I think, an odd reaction with regards to the result. Obviously, he didn't see, and to be fair, nobody saw Labour winning this. They came from literally nowhere. But the result was incredibly close. Although, strangely, the result was just as close, in fact, from losing to Labour to just beating Reform. There was very little in it, 1,500 between all three parties. And all through this fight, if you will, Swinney's been saying that Reform are the real threat. And I think they still are. Particularly for the Tories who see that pointless now voting Tory if they're going to either let SNP or Labour in. So a lot of those sort of disenfranchised Tories have already gone across to Reform. And I think a lot of the still enfranchised Tories may still vote for Reform so as not to waste a vote. Now, at the end of this, and this is very weird, despite all the fighting between Reform and Labour, where Anna Sarwar is saying that Reform is a racist party, John Swinney has come out and said, no, voters who vote for Reform are angry, not racist. And I'm thinking, that's an interesting take. Because if Labour people are saying, if you vote Reform, you're racist, and now the SNP are saying, oh no, you're not racist if you vote Reform, you're just angry. Yes, but probably angry with the SNP and their control. It's a very weird thing to take. And also what it says is he's sort of saying, it's okay to vote Reform. You're not racist if you vote Reform. Now, is he thinking that if he can switch allegiance, not switch allegiance, but if he can soften the view of Reform, is he hoping a lot of Labour voters would vote Reform because he now sees Labour as the threat? I think he may come to live to regret this. But I think it's another example of him having absolutely no political nous whatsoever. So yes, I agree with a lot of people in the SNP. It's time for John Swinney to go. On the other hand, he's doing a cracking up job of destroying the SNP, so perhaps maybe he should stay. The only difference is if he goes, who's going to replace them? Probably an even bigger idiot. So it's 50-50, isn't it? But I think on all fronts, yes, it's best he goes, simply because he is an old school sort of cranky-eyed dinosaur. Your thoughts? Let me know. Bye.